Hello, everybody. Welcome to an episode of Moe'S Culture Show and Tell. And excuse me if I sound a little bit stuffed up. I do have a cold, but I'm here to give you another video. It is Friday, and it is time for my recommendations. This is episode 4, number 4. And last week, my recommendation was for Urge Overkill Saturation. I hope a lot of you who tuned in went and checked it out. It's a it's not a well-known album. For those who do know it, awesome. I applaud. But yeah, for those who don't, please go check it out. I highly suggest it. And before that was the Lemonheads. It's a Shame About Ray. And before that, it was Ogre. Devil's in My Details. Those were my recommendations. But I have my number 4, my 4th recommendation. And I do my recommendation videos every 2 weeks. Just, every second Friday. Last week, last 2 Fridays ago, I was a little bit late in doing my video. But I want to try to keep it on Fridays to do a recommendation. Every second Friday. So, my next recommendation will be only 2 weeks from now. So this time, this episode, number 4, I want to suggest Legend of the Seagull Men. Now, why I want to suggest this one here is because it does have well, first of all, Danny Carey from Tool and another member from the band Mastodon are in this. And basically, okay, you can't see it from here, but this is my little mini poster I have for the Legend of Seagull Man, and it says the debut album out now, which I have, an action-packed, heavy psych fantasy straight from the pages of 60s fabulous like Captain Beyond, and that's a quote by Revolver magazine, and it featured members of Tool and Mastodon. And the record company is called Dine Alone Records. And yeah, so of course Danny Carey on drums, and it very much is very, very Captain Beyondish, very much like Captain Beyond. So this is my recommendation, because if you love Tool like I do, which is my favorite band. And yeah, and this is 100% a concept album. 100%. It's all to do with the sea and sea creatures and divers and the orcas and whales, and so that that picture right there encapsulates the entire album of what it's all about. It's super awesome. I love this album. And what's under here? Let's see. Okay. See, it looks like a kind of a guy in a scuba suit, and that's cool. So yeah, I highly suggest listening to that. It's not too long of an album, and but you can also look up on YouTube. They have this live performance of this entire album, which is like you can find that on YouTube. The entire live performance of this album. Yeah. So that is my recommendation. Now, I also, in this episode, it's not just my Moe'S Culture Show and Tell. I kind of want to talk a little bit about my day. I went out. That's why I'm kind of making a video a little bit later in the day. Usually I make it a little earlier, but I was hanging out with a good buddy of mine all day, and it's where I like to go and we listen to music. I bring some of my CDs. He plays some of his LPs. He's a vinyl collector. He has a small collection for now, but it will be growing. He will be buying more albums pretty soon. So yeah, I had a fun day. I brought over some from some King King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, and pretty much played 2 full albums for him today. I played all of the Flying Microtonal Banana, and I played all of the Paper Mache Dream Balloon. I played those 2 albums today, and they're so they're so different from each other. They're like if you didn't know any better, if I didn't say anything and just played one after the other and didn't tell him who I was playing, he would think it was 2 completely different bands. They're so different from each other, but they're so awesome. So I lent him a couple of those. I lent him some. So out of the 5 that I now own, there's only 2 he didn't hear. So I ended up lending those to him, plus a Rycooter. I lended him a Rycooter, my Rycooter album that I got. I want to hear his opinion on it. So basically, this is kind of my version of the album exchange. So he's trading some albums. I lent him some albums, and he lent me a couple of albums. Well, I'm pretty familiar with this stuff, but it is actually really cool to listen to this again. So some of the stuff that he's into that he the yeah. So there's Stampeders. Okay, these I do not own these CDs. I borrowed these from my friend today. So these are not mine, but I will be listening to them in the next week or so. So there's the Stampeders, over 60 minutes with, and they have great songs on it. Some hits like "Carry Me," "Sweet City Woman," "Devil You," "Oh My Lady," "Minstrel Gypsy," "Wild Eyes." Then came the White Man, "Hit the Road Jack." They do a great cover of that. "Baby with You," and I'm gonna skip some of those. "Keep Me Running Wild" is a good one. Uh, a "Blue-Eyed Woman." So this is such a great mix of songs. So this is it's like the greatest hits of Stampeders. It doesn't say the Stampeders. It just says, oh no, it does say the Stampeders. Yeah, it's the Stampeders greatest hits. So he lent me that. So I'm looking forward to listening to that. Plus, I got a couple of Blood Rock albums here, okay? This one here is not the actual album. It's actually a copy of it, like a burnt copy of it. Now, for some reason, he doesn't know why, but his CD it doesn't play on his CD player. So he wants me to try it on my CD player to see if it plays. But if it does play, actually, this is just a kind of a photocopy cover, a photocopy of the cover. It's not the actual cover. So yeah, it's a burnt CD of that. But this is the actual CD. This is the actual album. It has those songs on it. So if hopefully this will play. If it doesn't play, whatever. I still got some more Blood Rock to listen to with Blood Rock 2. So yeah. So and once I'm done playing these there in the next 2 weeks there, I'm going to do a review of these, like with with Stampeders and with the Blood Rock. Even though I'm very familiar with these, we only played a couple of songs from this. I'm kind of I like to hear the whole thing. We haven't listened to that today, so I'll be looking to listen to that. Then he also lent me this cool. He didn't take the price stickers off. He bought them at Spin It too, secondhand. But yeah, he lent me the Who live at Leeds or Leeds, Leeds, yeah, live at Leeds, and it has 6 cool songs. It has a couple of cover songs like "Young Man Blues." They do their own with Substitute, and there's "Summertime Blues," and then "Shaking All Over," and then their own with my Generation and the Magic Bus. So yeah. So and that's live. So and yeah, we played only the first song. So at his place, we played "Young Man Blues." So I kind of I want to hear the rest of it for sure. And then there's he lent me another burnt CD, basically, of and hopefully I didn't know about this guy, and hopefully most of you guys will know about this guy. He showed me a couple of videos on YouTube about this guy, and again, this is a burnt, like I said, a burnt copy from but it's Joe Bonamassa. 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 And those are the tracks, if you can see that. Feeling good, you upset me, baby, had to cry today. Long distance blues, around the bend, current situation, slow gin, black night, high water everywhere, torn down, pain and sorrow, clouds on the horizon, walk in my shadow, miss you, hate you. Now, apparently, this Joe Bonamassa, and I seen a couple of videos of him, and yeah, he's good. He's good. He's like he's very much would be considered up there with a Joe Satriani or a Steve Vai. Like he's such a virtuoso on the guitar. Now the part that I see that I was witness to for Joe Bonamassa was he was on stage. It was a live performance of a song. He was playing really good guitar, but here he is with the guitar in and doesn't he walk up to like a theremin, one of those thermins, and he has it hooked up to the guitar, so what he's playing on his guitar, the note he's playing on the guitar, he can manipulate it using the theremin. And I thought that's pretty neat. I don't think I've ever seen anybody do that before. That's the first for me. So I'm keen on listening to this, and also on YouTube checking out some more Joe Bonamassa. Yeah, and if I think I really love his stuff, I might get his stuff. I might start getting some Joe Bonamassa. I'm pretty sure it's right up my alley. And the last thing I want to show you that my good friend had lent me, okay, is yeah, this is special. It's another burnt. No, it's not quite correct to say. Now, what this is, and this is only one copy. There's only one copy. This is the only copy of this that there is. Okay, how do I explain this? Okay, on September 3rd, 2005, okay, the Rolling Stones came to Moncton at the there's an outdoor site that used to be an old Pope site. It's when the Pope came to visit, they had this great big site, and there was a mass of people that rallied to come and see the Pope, and they had a huge place. It can hold up to 60, or over 60,000 people for easily, you know. Yeah, we called it the Pope site, but it's another site now. It's called something else. But the Rolling Stones came to Moncton. The only time that the Rolling Stones came to Moncton and played a show. And yeah, so how this got recorded was that it was a guy who wasn't even in the show. Okay, he wasn't even in the show. He was outside outside the fence near where the show was, and he brought this reel to reel tape recorder, like a reel to reel, and he's out there by the fence outside the venue taping it. And yeah, it's clean, it's clear, you can hear everything, all the instruments are distinctive, and yeah, it's the whole entire concert. It starts. The song starts with "Start Me Up." It's basically all their set list that they did at Moncton, New Brunswick on September 3rd, 2005. The Rolling Stones, yeah. And so this is the only copy right now of this that I think from what he said that exists, except because he had made him this copy from the reel-to-reel tape that it was taped on. And yeah, the quality is much better than what you think. So this is a pretty much a bootleg copy, but it's not being mass produced. It's only it's only for well yeah, whoever has a chance to listen to the CD. So that's what I'm looking forward to in the next 2 weeks, listening to stuff. But mostly this, like right now, like because I was not around in Moncton when this happened. I was living up in Montreal. I've already been in Montreal for 4 years. So when this concert in Moncton, New Brunswick for the Rolling Stones, and I'm sure it was the only time. I think it was the only time that Rolling Stones came to the Maritimes in Canada to play a show. Yeah, so it's cool. It's cool. I'm looking forward, and I'll give you a proper review of all those stuff that I borrowed. Yeah, all that stuff that I borrowed, like the Blood Rock, the Stampeders, the Who. Hopefully that Blood Rock will play. The Joe Bonamassa, and then yeah, and I'm not necessarily in that order that I'll be playing it in. So okay, that's it for me. Because if I don't stop myself now, I can probably ramble on for another half an hour, and I'm not going to do that. I want to save that for another day. And so if I don't do a video Sundays are probably if I don't do a video. But now that now that I have everything here set up properly for a proper video and everything, I can do videos much easier. And so that's why you're seeing a whole lot more videos than usual, cuz I got everything perfectly going now. So, as always, please be safe. Take care. I will see you on the flip side. And please, everyone, have a great day, evening, night, wherever you may be. Peace, everybody.